Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really getting into the history of something surprisingly relevant, the Zettelkasten.
Yeah, the card file system. It sounds old-fashioned, maybe, but the ideas behind it, still incredibly powerful.
Exactly. We've looked at a history of the Zettelkasten and card file and the Wikipedia page as well. Lots of detail there.
Definitely. And our mission really is to figure out why this thing stuck around. How did it help people think?
And what can you, listening now, maybe take away from it for, dealing with information today? Any aha moments hidden in history?
That's the hope, because it's not just history, is it? These principles are popping up everywhere again, especially in digital tools.
Okay, so let's start way back. It didn't just appear, right? Our sources link it to commonplace books in the 16th century.
Right, the tradition of copying down interesting bits. But the key step was moving to separate paper slips.
Why was that such a big deal?
Well, think about it. A bound book is linear, stuck. Slips, though, you can move them around, reorder them, connect them differently.
Ah, okay. Flexibility.
Precisely. And Conrad Gessner, back in the 1500s, was apparently already playing with this, rearranging slips, maybe even gluing them down in new ways.
So, early signs of modular thinking.
You got it. Then, fast forward to the 17th century, around the 1640s, Thomas Harrison and his Ark of Studies.
An Ark of Studies sounds grand. What was it?
Basically the first real card cabinet we know of. It had slips with info, filed under subject headings on little hooks.
Wow, like physical tags. Almost like tagging files on a computer.
Sort of, yeah. A system for active organization, not just storage. And the kicker,
Go on.
Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. The Leibniz actually used one for research.
No way. Leibniz used a proto-Zettelkasten.
Seems so. Which really tells you something about its potential, even then.
And it kept evolving. There was Vincent Placius later in the 1600s.
His handbook, De Arte Exerpendi, in 1689. It apparently helped spread the idea, refining Harrison's system, making it more practical for scholars.
So the idea of breaking things down, connecting them, it's just catching on.
Yeah, the power of interconnected little bits of knowledge.
Okay, moving into the 1700s, Johann Jakob Moser. He had algorithms.
Yeah, sounds quite modern, doesn't it? He described ways to systematically fill his card boxes. It wasn't just random piling.
And Carl Linnaeus, the taxonomy guy.
Oh, absolutely. He used standardized little paper slips from 1767 onwards. Thousands are still preserved. Imagine sorting all that biological data.
You'd need a system, wouldn't you? Standardization makes sense for that scale.
Definitely. It shows the method scaling up for complex information.
And it wasn't just science, right? Jean-Paul the novelist.
Yeah, his novel Levin Diskintus Fixlane in 1796. The whole story is structured around the main character's Zettelkasten, 12,000 slips.
So the method itself became part of the art.
It shows how integral it could be to someone's thinking, their whole creative process. Not just a filing cabinet, but like an external brain.
So by the 1800s, was it standard practice?
Depends where you looked, it seems. Langlois and Sillobos, writing in France in 1897 about history research.
What did they say?
They recommended paper slips or cards, noting they were pretty widely used in Europe by then.
Okay, so established in Europe.
Apparently, around the same time, the 1890s, it was still seen as something of a novelty in America.
Interesting. So different adoption rates. Why do you think that was?
Hard to say for sure. Maybe different academic traditions, different pressures. It shows even good ideas take time to spread everywhere.
Right. Okay, jump to the 20th century. Things really seem to accelerate then.
Yeah, proliferation and refinement. You even get literary mentions like Anatole France in 1908.
Ah, Penguin Island. The scholar drowning in index cards.
That's the one. Funny, but it hints at the potential scale and maybe the management challenges too.
Which leads us to people trying to formalize it, I guess, like Sertalanges.
Exactly. Antonin Sertalanges' The Intellectual Life from 1921. It's like a proper manual.
What did he recommend?
Things like using uniform slips, guide cards, numbering, having a subject index. He even pointed to Paul Schwabeny's decimal system for classification.
And he argued against commonplace books.
Explicitly, yeah. Said they weren't flexible enough for real classification and connection making. He really championed the dynamic card file.
Makes sense. And others followed.
Oh, yeah. Earl W. Dow, Homer C. Hockett. They wrote about using card files specifically for history research, giving examples.
And the Webbs. Sidney and Beatrice Webb.
They detailed their card-based system for social research in their Methods of Social Study in 1932, adapting it again.
So it's branching out into different fields.
Totally. The core idea was flexible. Then you had Carter Alexander from 1935 onwards, pushing numbering hierarchies for organizing notes.
And Cecil B. Williams, talking about using the cards directly in the writing process.
Right, not just collecting notes, but using them to build the final piece. And we shouldn't forget Johannes Erich Haid in Germany.
His technique of scholarly work.
A major German manual, apparently from the 30s through the 70s, with detailed Zettelkasten instructions.
So it became a seriously taught technique.
Absolutely. Not just a personal quirk anymore.
Okay, let's talk about some of the heavy hitters. The individuals famous for their Zettelkasten. Walter Benjamin.
Yeah, his huge unfinished arcades project, he used a numbered card file system. Imagine the complexity he was weaving together.
It feels like the perfect tool for that kind of sprawling associative project.
It really does. Then there's Roland Barthes, his Fischer-Boyd.
The file box. Over 12,000 slips. And that famous photo of him with it.
Right. And he used it for everything, writing, teaching prep, even personal stuff like his morning diary. It was deeply integrated into his life.
Not just academic output then.
Not at all. A thinking partner, almost.
And Hans Blumenberg. Inspired by Lichtenberg.
Yeah, over 30,000 cards in his Zettelkasten, building on that aphoristic, interconnected style.
But the real legend is Niklas Luhmann, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. His system is probably the most studied. Around 90,000 cards, all meticulously linked.
90,000?
And he explicitly said he couldn't have been so ridiculously prolific in systems theory without it. It was his research partner, his idea generator.
And they've digitized it now, haven't they, since 2019?
They have, so researchers can actually explore his web of thoughts. It's fascinating.
The list keeps going, though. Mario Bunge used cards for teaching and writing from the 50s.
Arno Schmidt's novel Zettel's Trombodom's Dream, supposedly written using a massive card file.
Frederick L. Paxson.
Yeah.
80 drawers of 3x5 slips. Cross-reference.
80 drawers, the dedication, and even collaborative projects. Like for the Great Books of the Western World series, they had a shared card system.
Wow. And more recent writers, Kit Grenville and Lamont.
Mentioning using cards in their writing advice books in the 90s shows it wasn't just a historical thing.
And this one surprised me. Comedians.
Yeah. Philip Miller, Joan Rivers, Bob Hope, George Carlin. They used card files for jokes, one-liners, bits.
That makes sense, actually. Little nuggets of humor, easily rearranged.
Exactly. And even Ronald Reagan used them for quotes and speech material.
So academics, writers, comedians, presidents. It's incredibly versatile.
It really is. The core principle works across so many domains.
It wasn't just a physical thing either, was it? It became a metaphor.
Totally. Especially as we move towards computers, early hypertext software in the 80s, like note cards.
They were based on the Zettelkasten idea.
Explicitly. The idea of linked nodes, just like linked cards. And that software, in turn,
influenced wikis, like Wikipedia.
Yeah, the whole concept of interconnected pages you can jump between owes a debt to those early hypertext systems and thus indirectly to the Zettelkasten. The paper version paved the way.
That lineage is amazing. Paper to screen.
And Marcus Krzyzewski's book, Paper Machines, really digs into this. He calls card files thinking devices.
Not just storage, but tools that actively shape thought. Precursors to computers.
Exactly. They weren't passive. They helped generate the connections. Externalized cognition, basically.
Okay, so let's try and pull the threads together. What are the core enduring principles here?
Well, first I'd say atomicity. Breaking ideas down into the smallest possible coherent unit. One idea per note, roughly.
Right. Small, manageable chunks.
Second, the linking. Actively connecting notes using numbers, tags, cross-references. Building a network, not just a list.
That linking seems absolutely crucial. It's where the magic happens.
I think so. That's what allows for emergence. You stumble across unexpected connections, new lines of thought, creativity sparks, because note A suddenly talks to note Z via link B.
It's building a system that can surprise you.
Precisely. And that's why, even with all our fancy digital tools today,
people are rediscovering these principles.
Yes. There's this huge resurgence in personal knowledge management, often explicitly drawing on Luhmann or the general Zettelkasten idea. Digital tools are trying to replicate that power.
So connecting this back to you, the listener, it's not just about piling up notes, is it?
Not at all. It's about how you structure them, how you connect them. That's what leads to deeper understanding, real insights. The Zettelkasten is just one very effective, time-tested way to do that.
So wrapping up this deep dive, the Zettelkasten, the card file, it's clearly more than just, old bits of paper. It's a testament to structured thinking, interconnected thinking.
Yeah, from handwritten slips centuries ago to modern apps, Those basic ideas, break it down, link it up, they just keep proving their worth.
Which leaves a final thought maybe for you listening.
Mm-hmm.
How could consciously externalizing your thoughts and, importantly, connecting them, like in a Zettelkasten,
Yeah.
change how you learn or create or just handle the daily flood of information?
What kind of arcs of studies, maybe digital, maybe physical, are you building right now? Perhaps without even realizing it. It's definitely something worth thinking about.